Thanks, bro.
It's not your first rodeo, I can tell.
Oh, it's definitely probably my first one.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yes, we're back with another episode of Kava Corner. We've been away for a minute, but don't worry, we back. And today I got a special guest. I don't really need to give the bro an introduction, but I will. Dauso KJ Apa.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate you being here, brother. Before we start, let's have a little inu. Manawe oso.
Sure, brother. Oh, muddy.
So, brother, how you been, man? What's going on? What brings you back to your homeland?
Bro, it's been 3 years since I've been home, and just spending time with family, bro.
That's the
Good
one,
to be
bro.
back in the motherland.
Yeah, how does it feel like being back, man? Because when was the last time you were back home?
Last time I was back home would have been Christmas time of 2019, so like 3 years. And yeah, man, a lot's happened since then. I got a kid now.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, bro. Thank
Congrats,
you.
brother.
Been nice showing him around, showing him in the motherland.
Back to his roots and whatnot.
Yeah.
So being of Samoan descent, do you and your family have much background in kava? Like,
honestly, the only memory that I have drinking kava was when I was like, I must have been like 13 or 14.
Oh.
And this guy had given me this powdered kava in this plastic thing. And I got it at high school, so I took it home and I put it in a bowl. I was with one of my friends, one of my best friends, Boston, and we were out. We waited for my parents to go to sleep, and we started drinking. We were like, "Whoa, this is like crazy." Then my dad came out, and because we were young, he like, "Yeah, I got a hiding."
Yeah. Standard.
I wasn't allowed.
So where in Auckland did you grow up, and what was your childhood like?
My childhood was good, bro. You know, that's when I think about my son. That's why I want to move. Like, eventually I'd like to raise my boy here, just because I had such an amazing childhood. I went to King's, but yeah, Epsom, bro, that's my hood.
Cool.
1023. Cool.
So what was it like initially transitioning from your Auckland home and upbringing to the lifestyle in like Hollywood and LA and that?
I was so young, bro, so it was more like adjusting to life, being alone, and like hustling, because I didn't know what the future held for me. So I had to kind of adopt this attitude of like a pretty hopeful attitude, but like positive as well. And I made friends, you know, I tried making friends everywhere I went, so I wasn't always alone.
Yeah.
Because I spent so much time just chilling alone and learning how to do like the basic things in life. Like, I think my mom came and visited me once and I hadn't changed my sheets in like 4 months because I just like didn't do that kind of stuff. But
because how old were you?
I was 17 when I moved over.
Shit.
Yeah. I actually dropped out of high school in order to try it over there.
Apart from your family, what do you miss the most about Aotearoa when you're not home?
Probably KFC and V, energy drink.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I got a few friends, you know, overseas and that, and then as soon as they come home, you'll think they'll go to like some bougie restaurant or somewhere here, like, oh, this is a new spot. Straight to the KFC drive-thru.
Bro, straight to the KFC, and also, because I live real close to Onehunga, I live in Epsom.
Yeah.
And you know the Royal Oak Mall?
Yeah.
They make I forget the name of the place, but they make a mean lamb shank.
What I love about Royal Oak Mall is like, it's still the same as it was back when I was a kid.
It's exactly
like, I went there
the
a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, holy shit,
Nothing's changed, bro. And all the people there that still work there look way older now because they're the exact same people that work in that place.
Bro, that's crazy. So what music did you listen to when you were growing up, and what music you into now? Like, it was crazy when I was watching your stories and I saw you like jamming Yusuf Days and all that.
Yusuf Days is the man.
Man's got the taste, bro.
Yeah, I know we connected on Yusuf Days and Tom Mesh.
Yeah.
That you, when they collaborated together on that album, that was great. I grew up on, my dad I got all my music from the music that my dad listened to. So like Earth, Wind and Fire, Confunction, Steely Dan, like all those guys. But I specifically remember a point in time for about a year, I used to take, my dad had this old iPod and I used to listen to Jimi Hendrix live at Woodstock. And I literally fell asleep to that with headphones on for a whole year when I was like 11.
Wow. So like having that background of like, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Earth, Wind and Fire, all the soul stuff, what inspires you to make the music you make today?
It's interesting as you grow older how the basis of your musical taste comes from usually like people that you grew up with, like your parents and your family, and then eventually you start developing your own taste.
Yeah.
Like now I love like Nick Drake. I listen to a lot of rock and roll. I've always seen music as this patient medium that's always like waiting and always there for me. Everyone needs something from me. I got to be on set. I got to be here at a certain time. I got to dye my hair orange. But music's always, there's no rules, and it's always, it doesn't feel like work.
It's almost like an escapism from the other mahi that you got, eh?
100%. That's why like it's so sick. People like you who are doing that for a living.
Yeah,
like that's the dream, bro.
That's cool.
Epic.
I find like even because like coming from, like when you look on the map, right? We're literally at the bottom of the globe. Like I remember when I went to LA, I was doing sessions, or went to Germany and all this. They were like, "What are you doing down there?" And I'm like, "It's where I'm from, bro." Like,
what are you doing over there?
Yeah, they're like,
bro, some people don't even know we're in New Zealand.
Yeah, they were like, "Is that near Switzerland?" I'm just like, oh.
Whenever I come home, bro, it's always like Aotearoa.
Yeah.
Like, bro, because I wasn't here for 3 years, I was like, I need to recharge. Like, I need to recharge my mana, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I feel that every time I come back here.
It's just, I remember like when we were chilling at just across there at that bar or whatever, and you're like, "Man, I love this," and I was like, you love what? You know, just like the atmosphere and like having that local kind of feel.
Bro, there's a vibe when you're around your people. There's a true vibe, and I feel like I've gotten so used to being around Americans and like other people from around the world, which is great too, because it kind of, it stretches you.
Of course.
But then you come back and I don't know, you feel like you're with your people, which is
just get your cup filled. And then saying
100%.
that, let's fill up the cup, brother.
Oh, yo. We're gonna finish this whole thing, bro.
See at the bottom also.
Thanks, bro.
It's not your first rodeo, I can tell.
Oh, it's definitely probably my first one.
So what music plans and stuff you got lined up? Is there like new music on ways, or are you putting that to the side, or what's the vibe, man?
There is a little project that I worked on with one of my really good friends in Vancouver, like 3 years ago. During COVID, it was in an interesting part of my life, very like reckless.
Yeah.
But we were writing together, and we decided to record some stuff. We might put it out at some stage. It's like weird when you're putting out music. It's, I don't know. There's some weird, like it's never perfect enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And at some point you just have to fucking
just let it
go, right?
Yeah, I'm on the same vibe, man. Like I listened to my album now that is coming out later this year, and so I started that when I was like 2019. So I'm completely sick of it, but then I just got to give it space for the people and stuff to
and
vibe.
How do you feel when you come back a few years or a few months later and listen to the stuff you did?
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, that's actually dope.
Yeah.
I'm always like, but I'm the most indecisive dude. Like,
bro, me too. I'm so indecisive.
Bro, I'll go to like a McDonald's, not McDonald's, but I'll go to like, I don't know, a
bar,
or like Movenpick, or you know, just somewhere like getting an ice cream or some shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you want? And I'm just like, fuck, do I want this or that? Or let's take it back. Did you have any favorites from like the 2000s era of New Zealand hip hop or New Zealand music in general?
New Zealand hip hop. Would Scribe count?
Of course.
I used to love Scribe, bro, and Addies. Scribe and Addies.
Yeah, mad.
Every time before I go to set, I listen to Epaia by Addies for the Always and For Real album.
Yeah.
And The Lord Is My Light.
That's classic. That's actually the first, I think, Pacific album in New Zealand that went platinum. Yo.
Actually.
Yeah. So shout out Addies.
They're my uncles too.
Oh, we must be cousins then. Well, what was like, I don't know, as a kid, what music were you listening to? Like for me, I was like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even on the hip hop vibe until my older cousins were like, bro, you need to get on this shit right now kind of thing. And I just got obsessed with Bone Thugs and Harmony and that whole kind of gangster rap era.
I love Linkin Park. I was kind of all over the place. All over the place. I went through a stage of Michael Jackson when I was a kid, being obsessed with Michael Jackson and dressing up and trying to dance. Like I have so much respect for dancers.
Yeah.
Like being able to express yourself physically like that. When I watch it, it like almost brings tears to my eyes because it's something that I've always wished that I can do.
That's like, yeah, I'm the same, man. Like I'm friends with, you know Jara? Yeah, because we went to school together and just like watching her progress and like she's a poet, but then she does her poetry through her dance, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, man, I wish I could do that.
I know.
I need a hip hop beat and like, you know, some motivation.
You still can?
But nah, I'm the most lankiest motherfucker out, bro. So you kicked off your acting career with the iconic New Zealand soap opera Shoreline Street. What was that experience like?
It was good, bro. I mean, I'm always grateful for that experience. It was the start of my career. And at that point in time, I didn't even realize that was something I wanted to do. But that show's such a machine. It's just cranking lines out every day. There's not much time for connection to your character or to anyone. I just had so much fun. I was so young.
Yeah.
And I have great friendships from that show.
I buzz out on like Chris Warner, like, bro.
Is he still on it?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he is. But what's his skincare routine, bro? Like, cause I remember when I was a kid, like a toddler, and I would see the screen as Chris Warner. You know, like now I'm a fully ass grown adult, and like he still looks the same.
Does he? I haven't even seen him. It's like Tom Cruise, eh? He never ages.
Yeah, it doesn't age, bro.
I know.
Some alien
It must be
shit.
some secret kind of.
How did you get into like that? Like, how did you get into like? Did you want to do acting, or was there an opportunity where you could audition, or?
No, what happened was with Shorty was my sister was in a modeling agency, and the agent, who's still my agent in New Zealand, they were looking for this part on Shoreline Street, which was the brother of the girl who was already on the show.
Yeah.
And I just looked a lot like her, so my agent was like, we should just do an audition.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember the casting director just being like, if you just do everything that I'm telling you, like giving me line reads, and I did it and I got it. So it was pretty fluky, pretty lucky.
Nice, brother. And with that being said, let's have another shot. Okay. How you feeling, bro?
I feel good.
Good.
My tongue's pretty numb.
Yeah. Hopefully, you don't go home to a hiding. Just say, oh, Mello forced me to drink this. No.
Keep giving me big ones, bro.
Ooh.
Keep filling my cup high, bro.
It's a setup. You acted alongside Ed Sheeran when he made a cameo on Shoreline Street, which is pretty buzzy. What the fuck's he doing on Shoreline Street? Have you guys talked since then? Like,
I don't know. No, I have not talked to Ed Sheeran since then. And it's so funny to me that people still talk, because people ask me this question all the time, hey, it's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We still talking about that?
He must have got a bag for that, surely, or, but
Bruh.
he was still kind of on the come up back then.
The rumor that I heard was that he really loved watching Shoreline Street.
Fuck.
Am I gonna be all good to drive after this?
Yeah, bro, you might just be under the limit. Maybe like 20 or 30 Ks. Nah, bless, brother.
I actually don't mind the taste.
So who's someone in your family?
My dad.
Your dad, is he half, full?
He's half.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, both my parents are half, so I'm kind of like a hybrid half caste. But
Yeah.
one thing I love about kava is like it's so ancient to Polynesia, and so like whether we've tried it or not, or we don't drink it that often, it's so cool to know that our ancestors were drinking this. Whether it be like a meeting or like I don't know, they need to work something out in the village.
Yep.
But yeah, they've been drinking this for centuries.
Is
so.
it celebratory too?
In Vanuatu and Fiji, it's more kind of recreational. And so when I went to Vanuatu, they drink it more recreationally. And so that's the first time I ever experienced like kava, like proper like wavy of kava.
Right.
So what is it like initially transitioning from your Auckland home and upbringing to the lifestyle of Hollywood?
Fast pace, I'd say, bro. When I came back, I realized how fast LA is. Like LA is so fast paced. And I guess when you get used to that, you come back home and everything's kind of chill. I'm also like chilling with my family and stuff, but I'm also the kind of person, bro, where I have to like slow down somehow because I'm always like boom, always.
Is it like going to LA, like the work ethic is crazy, and then coming here is just like kind of just more like, would you want to live that lifestyle, or do you like the work ethic? Because one thing about me, like I've only been to LA once, but I was just straight into work and it was like non-stop sessions. And then
did you enjoy that?
I loved it because I got so much done, and everyone there wanted to win. So they just in the session, they don't care who you are, they just want to work. If it doesn't work out, it's not like, yo, that guy sucks. They just on to the next. They don't really care about the haters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then so as soon as I came back here, it's like I wanted that work ethic, but then everyone's just on island time. Like I'll go in a session and then we'll be 1 hour in the session and should we get something to eat? And then we'll go eat. And should we go play ball? And I'm like, bro, let's go to the session.
Hard. That's true. No, that's definitely true. But then again, when you do that, like I feel like over the last 7 years that I've been away from home, that while that side is good and positive, the negative to that for me has been like not putting enough time for myself.
Yeah.
Because of that, there's habits that I've adopted that may not be that good, and I feel like it's so important while having that workaholic mentality, you have to have some kind of program or something that keeps you like having time for yourself, which has been a goal for me, to be honest, over this last like 3 years.
Oh, bro, congrats on fatherhood, man.
Thank you, bro.
What's that experience been like so far, and what do you think it's taught about yourself?
Incredible, bro.
Nice.
It's yeah, I get asked that all the time, and you can't really put it.
It's like more of a feeling, eh?
Yeah, you can't put it into words, but what I've learned about myself is that I'm even more impatient than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And I've learned the beautiful power that exists inside woman and my girl.
Yeah.
Like watching that experience for me it changed my life in the way that I view her in general, forever. It's like the ultimate creation.
I got one on the way, so I'm kind of like.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh, congrats, bro. That's sick.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, oh. Do you reckon, like, you know how like before, obviously you had your girl and like you had your work and your purpose, but now that you've got like a child, like a seed that comes from you and your partner, do you think like has the purpose changed, like because you got something else to look forward, you know what I mean?
For me, like in my experience, it becomes like, for me, it's just become more less about myself.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was the best thing for me too, because Sasha, my son, he came at a point in time where I really needed to be out of self. And I feel like that's really important to be. It's like being of service. When you're being of service to someone, ultimately you're not in self and you're doing something for someone else, which is, like the basics of humanity. I believe that's why God created us. It's to be of service. Service, yeah. And when you have kids, I feel like, for me at least, it means that like the things that I do now are no longer for myself, but they're for my family.
Yeah, nah, I agree, man. Because I'm just like, before it's just like the music, because like, as an artist,
or imagine like the art, your music.
Yeah.
Like after those kind of experiences,
that's
it's gonna just transcend, bro.
Because before it's just like, artists can come across quite, not selfish, but quite self-absorbed with their creations. And so like for me, sensitive. Yeah, sensitive and all that. So I'm like, man, I've got something else to like do this for. So for me, it's like, especially being at the bottom, I'm still like a local here, I'm still trying to break out into the world and whatnot. So for me, having another life, another like light being that's kind of like living for.
Yeah, you're gonna transcend.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm just trying to.
You're gonna transcend.
What's it like bringing your son back home to New Zealand for the first time? Is it important that he gets to experience the Aotearoa culture?
It's really important, but it's also important that that my girl obviously enjoys it here too. Yeah. Because it's so far away. She's from France, and it's like she's so far away from her home. And if it's not all, if she's not cool with it, then we can't,
So what nation are you, brother?
New Zealand, Samoan.
And your partner?
I'm a quarter Irish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And your partner is French?
She's French. So she's from the south of France.
So your baby is Irish, French, Samoan, and European?
Yeah. I mean, how much Samoan is he though? He's like half of a quarter.
In spaces where like full Samoans look at me like, you're not Samoan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt really, not offended, but I got really intimidated by that growing up.
Yeah.
But now that I'm doing the music and there's like a lot of islanders and stuff like give me praise around the hood or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, man,
it's like honest, if you're not achieving something as an islander, then and you're a half caste or less, then it's like we don't care. But as soon as you achieve something great, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's Samoan or he's Māori or something.
Bro, that's exactly it. But what I've learned from that is I might have half of my blood, but I'm still a Samoan. Like, doesn't matter how small of a Samoan I am, I'm still Samoan. And I think a lot of like half caste and like quarter caste or whatever you are, I think they just need to take that into consideration, that like if you're being intimidated by other like people in your circle that are kind of like think just because you can't speak the language, I think it's important to know like your ancestors are just as Samoan as the other ancestors, you know what I mean? So
100%. And no one can tell you what you identify with.
Yeah,
you know, only you can be the judge of that.
That's it.
Cheers.
Yes, brother. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned during your time in Hollywood?
Stay away from cocaine. To be completely honest.
Yeah. I think we can all take that on board.
Yeah.
If you could play anyone in a movie, who would it be?
Have you seen the movie The Cable Guy?
Is that fucking
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, The Cable Guy, Ben Stiller directed it. If they remade that movie, I'd be down.
Wow. Yeah. Fuck, I love it. He's one of my favorite actors, man.
Bro,
like,
there's no actor like that.
He's special,
right now.
bro. Like, he even pulls up to awards and just to take the piss out of them.
I know.
Shit like that.
But I love that.
Yeah, me too,
Because
man.
bro, all of that stuff is all just, it's all bullshit. And to be honest, when I came from New Zealand and went to LA, I feel like growing up in New Zealand, we look at the States and Hollywood and movies and these rappers as these untouchable icons that we will never be able to identify with. But at the end of the day, like, I experienced it. I went there, and now I'm working among, you know, some of my heroes.
Yeah.
And they're all just people.
Yeah.
You go to red carpet event, it's all just people walking the carpet. And then when we're on carpets, we get our photos taken and we love it and we post it. And then we get our validation from that. I'm guilty of this too.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how I feel. You know, sometimes it gives me anxiety, when I think about that stuff, because it's not what it's about.
Yeah.
Which is why I respect people like Jim Carrey, and you know, there's other people out there who don't, like rappers like Kendrick Lamar, who you don't hear about that guy ever until he comes out with a beautiful piece of something.
Yeah.
So that side's always tripped me out. It's always tripped me out because it's like, it's part of the job in a way.
Well, that's like, because I was on tour with an American artist a couple of weeks ago. We just did an Australian tour, and I was opening for him. And at first, it was kind of like real, like gangster, because he's from the hood kind of thing. And then I remember we were in the green room, and there was like all these shorties, and like they were drinking, I think, lean and Hennessy or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Mello, hit this blunt, hit this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I just had my green tea, because I haven't been drinking. I had my green tea, and then bro's like, bro, you different, bro.
Yeah.
And then the next show, the bro's like chilling, and then he's got his green tea. I'm like, oh, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and
he drank his green tea.
But it's like they, I don't know what it is, if they got this, like, they put up like walls. And then once they find like, oh, this guy's actually a genuine person, it kind of comes out. I don't know if it's like that in like your type of environment, but like just in terms of like hostile hip hop kind of shit, like everyone's got this, like, they put their walls up.
Because I've noticed that with music, especially with rappers, it's all about like drugs, drinking, and girls. Yeah. Right? Because that's like what most of, like, lyrically, that's what I hear on the radio.
Yeah.
On most of the mainstream stuff. And what about Tupac, bro?
Exactly. Like
he was rapping, he was younger than, how old are you?
I'm 30.
I'm 25. He was younger than both of us, rapping about the realest shit that you could talk about.
But that's
and I
like,
can't imagine being that old and being that wise.
Yeah. I got to a point when I was Tupac's age when he passed away, and I was like, holy shit, I've just moved out of home. Yeah. And Tupac did all this, you know what I mean? So.
And he didn't even hit 30.
What an impact, man.
Yeah, insane.
And so this one's for Tupac.
Shot. Cheers.
Cheers also. By the way, shout out to Four Shells Kava for being hospitable to us. So if you're ever in downtown, pop into Four Shells Kava and then hit Shy Guy straight after. So like, bruh, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw you on Instagram, like I knew who you were, and I knew like what you did and stuff, but then I start seeing these like Lacoste ads and shit, and I'm like, bro is so ripped. Like, how do you handle the pressure of maintaining a certain level of fitness and doing so for fans and those that are watching you during your time at Riverdale? Like, is that like a lot of pressure on you to like Like, are you body conscious or are you just
For sure. Because I was so young, it didn't really matter to me when I was young because it was never something I thought about until the idea of having to actually maintain a certain physical appearance.
Yeah.
And it can create a lot of bad habits. And also it's interesting, bro, because I spend a lot of my time, like a lot of the time I'm on set and I have no shirt on. And there's always people making comments, which is all good.
Yeah.
But then when I go on the flip side, and if there was a girl on set, everyone's silent. Like, you can't say anything. But
double standards,
it's double standards, and I'm all good with it. But it's like, I'm so tired of, like, to be honest, like, it gets tiring when you're on set all the time and people are making comments on your body.
Yeah.
Because it also like, it takes the attention off the work that you're actually doing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, you know, after Riverdale, I'm definitely gonna try and, you know, go from that space and try and get away from it, because that's kind of been like a lot of my career so far has been those kind of characters.
With Riverdale nearing its final season, where do you see yourself in the next, say, 5 years?
Coming off of a show where I don't get so much creative control of my character, or really anything, I'm definitely like dying to work on projects that I have ownership of and characters that I have ownership of.
Do you have your eyes on any kind of New Zealand talent that's kind of coming up at all? Like, I know there's Vinny Bennett, he's been doing some crazy things.
Vinny's the man.
Yo.
Vinny's the man. He's also hilarious.
Yeah, bro, he's crack up. I'm gonna get him on there too, because he like.
Bro, Vinny will be crack up.
He sent me a video of him drinking kava, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gearing up to come on Kava Corner." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." Oh, we're doing well, man.
Sick.
Shut up,
Cheers, bro.
It's time for that Kava Buzz.
Oh shit. Where'd you get those?
So, if you could collab with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Nick Drake.
Nice. Nando's or KFC?
KFC.
Oh, dang. 660 or LAB?
LAB.
Yeah. Would you rather be in a Portaloo and someone tips it over, or take a punch in the face close range from Mark Hunt or Stylebender?
I'd rather be in a Portaloo, bro. I'm trying to live it.
Would you rather lose a lung or lose a testicle?
I'd rather lose a testicle.
Yeah. Need that oxygen.
Longevity, bro.
Yeah.
Longevity.
What NZ rapper do you think would make a mean actor or movie star?
Mellow Downs.
You do it. Shorty, hey shorty, hit me up.
Yeah.
Would you rather go into the past and meet your ancestors, or go into the future and meet your great-grandchildren?
Go to the past and meet my ancestors.
Yeah,
100%.
That would be so solid.
I'm not trying to mess with the future.
Yeah,
you know?
Nah, you don't want to do that because then it can have ripple effects.
Yeah. I'm all about the present, bro.
Yo,
present moment.
What would your superpower be?
The ability to heal.
People or just
me? People.
Nice, that's selfless, brother. I love it. Would you rather be unable to move your body every time it rains, or not be able to stop moving while the sun is out?
Move my body when it's raining. I have to move my body. Has to move your body.
That's a bit of a mindfuck.
Yeah.
And in saying that, man, you conquered the Kava Corner. Just one thing before we wrap it up. I appreciate you for coming on, man. I know you got a busy ass schedule. Welcome back home. And is there anything you just want to put out there into the universe before we finish?
Nah.
Safe, that's us.
Shuttle, so we covered it. Shot, brother.